Dozens of 911 calls flooded LaCrosse County's dispatch center this morning after residents heard and felt that large explosion.
Emergency crews responded to the 700 block of Sumner Street south of the LaCrosse Loggers baseball field around 7 o'clock this morning for a 40-foot fuel tank that had exploded at Midwest Fuels. It took crews about an hour and a half to get the fire under control.
One employee was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening burns and has since been released. News 8's Brittany Schmidt begins our team coverage live at the scene. Brittany?
Lisa, the fuel tank explosion was so powerful that the fire crews actually dispatched themselves to the scene because they heard the loud boom and they could see the smoke filling the sky. But not long after they arrived, the 911 calls started pouring in.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
911, what's the address of the emergency?
Within minutes, dozens of emergency phone calls flooded LaCrosse's emergency management.
It's on Sumner, it's Midwest Fuels.
All describing the scene of an early morning explosion.
I just got the hell out of there real quick because it just went boom and I saw a big copper tank go flying.
There's black smoke coming out and there's a fire rolling.
Emergency crews responded to the scene
We've got everybody on the way down there.
to find one Midwest fuel tank completely engulfed in flames, sending large plumes of black smoke into the air.
As you can see, there's diesel and asphalt particulate coming down.
The tank, which is about 40 feet tall and 24 feet around, contained a mixture of diesel and liquid asphalt. At the time of the call, only one fuel tank was on fire, but as the flames grew, crews worried it would spread to other tanks.
Not only are we going to deal with the situation that's at hand right here, but we've got to think about what's step 2, what's step 3, what could possibly happen if things get worse.
Chief Cleveland put his action plan into place, calling in emergency crews from around the area, making sure to stay one step ahead of the disaster.
We don't want to get behind the 8 ball on these types of incidents because it's very critical to have a planning section set up and to make sure that we anticipate what might happen.
26 firefighters, 12 responding units, and 3 supporting agencies later, the fire was under control within about an hour and a half, thanks to the quick thinking of first responders and the public.
We do have a pretty good network and a good communications, and logistically we are in pretty good shape today.
There is still no cause of the fire. They say that it'll probably take even some days or even some weeks before they find an official cause because they want to make sure that they talk to everyone who is here and look at all the evidence that was left afterwards. But we do know that there was extensive smoke, fire, and water damage to that tank where the explosion occurred. Reporting live in LaCrosse on the north side, I'm Brittany Schmidt for News 8. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you, Brittany. A part of that good communication that Chief Cleveland was talking about was partly thanks to 911 dispatchers.
They handled more than 40 calls in just 20 minutes this morning from residents about that explosion.
That's an amazing number of calls to deal with because there's only 3 or 4 people in there answering the phone, so it's very busy for them.